What if instead of games and techniques, you just walked up and said, "I think you're attractive and I wanted to meet you"? The direct approach promises simplicity and authenticity. No routines, no manipulation, just honesty. It's appealing. It's also incomplete. Here's what it gets right and where it falls short. There's a certain appeal to directness. Walk up, say what you want, let the chips fall. No games, no pretense, no technique. Just a man expressing genuine interest in a woman. And there are real advantages to this approach. First, it makes escalation easier. When you've already told her you're interested, physical escalation makes sense. There's no incongruence between your words and your actions. You said you liked her, now you're showing it. Everything flows in the same direction. Compare this to indirect approaches where you spent 20 minutes pretending you just wanted her opinion on something, and now you're trying to kiss her. That's a jarring shift. Second, it's simple. You don't need routines. You don't need memorized material. You just need the courage to be honest about your interest. For guys who feel weird about techniques, this is liberating. Third, it forces you to develop real social skills. When you don't have material to fall back on, you have to actually respond to what's happening. You have to be present, calibrate, think on your feet. Over time, this builds genuine social intelligence. Fourth, it's polarizing in a good way. Women who respond well to directness tend to respond very well. You filter quickly for women who are attracted to you and open to being approached. Less time wasted on ambiguous interactions. So why doesn't everyone just do this? Because direct approach has significant limitations. First, it's much weaker for groups. When you walk up to a woman with her friends and say, "I think you're cute, I wanted to meet you," what do the friends do? They just stand there awkwardly. There's no easy way to include them. You've created a weird dynamic right from the start. Structured approaches handle groups better because they engage everyone first, creating social cover for what's actually happening. Second, it's harder with women who aren't immediately attracted to you. Direct approach works great when she sees you, likes what she sees, and is happy to be approached. You walk up, express interest, she's receptive, things progress. But what about women who aren't immediately sure? With direct approach, you've already shown all your cards. There's nothing to create intrigue, no dynamic to shift her interest level. Either she's into you or she's not, and you've given her all the information she needs to decide in the first 3 seconds. Indirect approaches can build attraction over time. You start a conversation, demonstrate your personality, create intrigue. A woman who wasn't initially interested becomes interested. Third, direct approach usually leaves the guy chasing. Think about the dynamic it creates. You've expressed interest, she hasn't. You're pursuing, she's deciding whether to let you. That's not necessarily bad, but it can lead to a pattern where you're always the one pushing things forward while she passively evaluates. More structured approaches can flip this dynamic, creating situations where she's investing and chasing too. Fourth, direct approaches often lack narrative. Think about the great love stories, even the small ones. There's tension, uncertainty, discovery. "I saw her across the room and declared my interest immediately" is fine. But we kept running into each other. There was this tension, neither of us was sure, and then finally, that's a story. Direct approach can feel flat because there's no arc. You expressed interest. She either reciprocated or didn't. Where's the romance? Now here's the thing. This isn't an either-or choice. The best approach usually combines directness with some structural awareness. You can be genuine and honest while also understanding group dynamics, escalation, and transition. You can express interest directly while still creating intrigue and investment. Pure direct approach is simple but leaves a lot on the table. Pure structured approach can feel mechanical and weird. The sweet spot is somewhere in between, authentic expression of interest informed by understanding of social dynamics. Direct approach has real virtues: simplicity, easier escalation, forced authenticity, but it struggles with groups, with women who aren't immediately attracted, and with creating dynamic tension. The best practitioners combine direct authenticity with structural understanding, honest about their interest but smart about how they express it. So we've covered theory, what creates attraction, how conversations work, handling groups, transitioning from attraction to comfort, direct versus indirect approaches. But knowing what to do and actually doing it are very different things. How do you take all this information and turn it into actual skill without becoming paralyzed by overthinking?